Right now, somewhere near you, your phone is within arm's reach. You know it. Your hand already wants to move. You tell yourself you'll check it in a minute, and then 30 seconds later, you don't remember deciding to pick it up. It just happens. You call this a bad habit. But the real answer is far stranger. Your brain is not broken. It is not weak, and it is not lazy. It is doing exactly what it was built to do, using a system that is millions of years older than the device in your hand. To understand why you cannot stop checking your phone, you have to go back to a time before phones, before agriculture, before cities existed at all. You have to go back to the savannah. Picture an early human walking through tall grass. Every rustle could be wind, or it could be a predator. Every distant shape could be a rock, or it could be food. The brain that survived was not the brain that ignored these signals. It was the brain that checked, over and over, compulsively, automatically. Checking cost almost nothing. Missing a threat could cost everything. This is the foundation of what scientists call a threat and reward detection system, and it runs your attention today just as powerfully as it ran your ancestors' attention 200,000 years ago. Your brain did not evolve to relax. It evolved to scan. Here's where the story gets interesting. In the 1950s, a psychologist named B.F. Skinner ran a series of experiments on reward and behavior. He put pigeons in a box with a lever. Some pigeons got a food pellet every single time they pressed the lever. Predictable. Reliable. Those pigeons pressed the lever calmly, only when they were hungry. But other pigeons got food at random intervals. Sometimes the lever gave food. Sometimes it gave nothing. Skinner called this variable ratio reinforcement, and the results were staggering. The pigeons on the unpredictable schedule pressed the lever compulsively. Constantly, even when they weren't hungry, even when nothing was coming. The uncertainty itself became addictive. Does that sound familiar? Every time you unlock your phone, you are pressing that same lever. Sometimes there's a message that matters. Sometimes there's nothing. Sometimes there's a notification, a headline that grabs you. You never know which one it will be. And that unpredictability is not an accident. It is the exact mechanism Skinner discovered, built directly into the architecture of the apps on your screen. But the story doesn't stop with Skinner's pigeons. Decades later, a neuroscientist named Wolfram Schultz studied dopamine, the brain chemical everyone associates with pleasure. Schultz discovered something that reshaped an entire field. Dopamine doesn't spike when you get the reward. It spikes in anticipation of the reward. The moment right before you know what's coming. This means the most powerful part of checking your phone isn't the message itself. It's the second right before you see it. Your brain lights up during the reach, during the unlock, during that half second of not knowing. The actual content is almost an afterthought. Another researcher, Kent Berridge, went even further. He separated the brain systems for wanting and liking. Wanting is the drive, the pull, the itch to check. Liking is the actual satisfaction once you have it. Berridge's work showed these are controlled by different circuits, and here's the unsettling part. The wanting system can fire strongly even when the liking system barely responds at all. That's why you can check your phone, feel nothing, and immediately want to check it again. The craving and the reward have quietly become disconnected. You're not chasing satisfaction anymore. You're chasing the check itself. Think about what this means for your ancestor in the grass. Their scanning system never needed to deliver constant rewards. It only needed to fire often enough to keep them alive. A false alarm cost a glance. A missed predator cost a life. The math favored constant vigilance, even when nothing was there 99 times out of 100. Your phone exploits that same math, except now the grass never stops rustling. Every app, every platform, every red notification dot is a small, deliberate rustle in the grass. It doesn't need to be a real threat or a real reward. It only needs to be uncertain enough to trigger the ancient system underneath it. Here's the twist that changes everything. This system was never built for constant novelty. It was built for an environment where new information was rare and rare things mattered. In the world your brain evolved for, if something changed, it usually mattered enormously. A new sound, a new visitor, a new season. But your phone manufactures newness endlessly. It is not one candy bar. It is a machine that produces an infinite supply, one after another, forever. Your ancient alarm system, so brilliantly tuned for a world of scarcity, is now facing a world of manufactured abundance.